What's going on, YouTube? Sorry I haven't made an update in a while. Been putting little Instagram stories up, but have not made a YouTube update in a while. Let's see what's going on. These two babies are the sun gold tomato, and the other tomato I thought was a Napa grape, but it's actually a Sweet 100. I thought it could be either one of those because it was a volunteer, and those are the ones that I have grown in the past that are super vigorous, so they always tend to volunteer. But the fruits are starting to come in, so I can see that it is not a grape-shaped tomato. It is that small, bigger than a cherry size Sweet 100 tomato. And these babies, they're getting pretty big. Let me try to get Nate over there. Good stay. Good boy. All right. So, there are gonna be some yielders, I think. Break. $100. We still have all these carrots we haven't harvested yet. They're only all flopping all every direction because it just watered with some compost tea. The bed that had the lettuce and peas. The peas and lettuce are done. So I put some new pole beans to replace them. The pole beans I did before, I still have some going of those pole beans, but the pole beans before, I wasn't really happy with the variety for my area. So I got these ones, these Kentucky Blue pole beans from Haas Tools that should be a little better in the heat. So I have to say, underestimated the space saver because this cucumber, I mean, it's true, it doesn't get super big, but it's been yielding plenty of cucumbers. This one. I mean, basically every day, I'm just amazed at what this little plant can push out. So next to it, we have a tomatillo. This is relatively new. You guys haven't seen this before, as far as I remember. And as that finishes its cycle, it's going to be replaced by some new cucumbers of a larger variety. Over here in the flower spiral, the larger sunflowers are have already been pollinated and gone to seed, so they're dying back, but we have lots of smaller blooms popping up, so I'm not going to take them down for a little while. One thing I'm most excited about is harvesting the stalks for trellising in the future. The actual wildflowers, for the most part, have finished their cycle and started to die back, but we've been getting pumpkins from our volunteer pumpkin, and we figured out which kind of pumpkin they are. They're a small decorative pumpkin that we had composted, so this is actually a fine size to harvest them. We've already harvested one, but we might let some go longer and see if they are edible once they get a little bit longer. I mean, I'm sure they're edible, but tasty. Over here in the lettuce patch, these 3 rows of lettuce that we're harvesting from a lot have all bolted and been taken out, so we're reseeding. There's some new sprouts, hopefully it's lettuce, coming up, so that's why we have the sprinkler over here. I don't really use the sprinkler for irrigation, but I do use it for germination. We have the peppers, which are starting to put on little peppers. Some of them are branching out nicely. Here, this one's doing the best. Look how branchy and how big that one is. I'm so excited. Definitely hanging outside the tomato cage. Not a fan of these tomato cages for tomatoes, but I like them for other things. For tomatillos, and for peppers, they work great. Even for kale, if you want to kind of contain your kale, it can help. Here's another space saver. So did some baby kale for raw salad green and some baby chard. I really need to harvest some of this baby chard. Here is the native soil side garden. As you can see, some of these so-called cucumbers I planted, I'm an idiot and they're zucchinis, but I'm actually excited to have a lot of zucchini plants because I love zucchini. And I'm just really happy with this side garden because this was kind of an afterthought after I expanded into the rest of the garden beds and started just planting here in the clay dirt, in the earth. Added only a little bit of compost. It's not like I've been adding a ton of compost. You can see the soil still very hard. I mean, that's not a good example because it's right there. But I don't want to go digging under my plants. Point is, there's only a little bit of compost, native soil, and we have big healthy plants producing zucchinis. This one back here is a monster. Oh my goodness. Look at these leaves. Got a zucchini almost ready to harvest on there. Harvested it yesterday. I could already harvest it again. Where's my melon? My melon's growing. Yeah, buddy. My way, but this one hasn't even opened yet. It's very tall, but it's beyond being tall, which all of them are tall. It has the thickest stalk. I don't know if you can see. Love this thing. This is the one that I'll take seed from to plant my sunflowers next season for sure. We've actually harvested our first corn from right here. More coming soon. If you just want corn, it's not really cost effective necessarily to grow corn unless you have a lot of space, but what I've found is corn is one thing that's very hard to find organic. I think because of that, it's not that cost effective to grow, so when you grow it organically, it cuts into your margins so much. So, I mean, we're producing, even if all these stalks produce 3 corns, which is a stretch, right? They'll probably produce 2. I mean, we're probably only gonna have less than $10 worth of corn if you just count the numbers, but if you want clean corn, it's my only option. Costata Romanesco squashes really held up to their description. It was true, they don't yield as much as the zucchinis, and they taste much better than zucchinis. Also, their texture is better. It just, they don't get soggy when you cook them like zucchinis, but they have all that nice zucchini flavor. It's just, I'm definitely gonna grow these again. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.